Welcome back to the tea party. We're not quite all mad here yet, and it has been costume curation crunch time chaos at Ellie Kettle Creations recently. I'm currently working on 4 different outfits. 3 of those I'm not going to need for about another month, but one of them I'm going to need in just 2 weeks. So that's the one we're going to be talking about today, and this is likely going to be a 2-parter. So I invite you to join me while I attempt to transform myself into a royal vampiress warrior. Let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes. Actually, maybe just more meat for this one because, you know, vampires. Allow me to introduce Eileen. Get it? So Eileen, we're not the same size. Eileen is a few sizes smaller than me, but she does a good job at helping me to put my vision together, even though my clothes are pretty big on her. For this particular look, I wanted to use gold, red, and some black. Right now I'm using a black dress, but I may end up swapping this out for gold or red. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. I also wanted to be able to not have to carry a purse. I didn't want to have pockets in what I'm wearing because we all know about the pockets dilemma. So I chose to go with a belt and a pouch. I'd like to have something long, and I am currently looking at using a petticoat to make up the length difference between this dress and what would be ideal. This dress was thrifted, and this was thrifted. Shout out to the Disco Dolls. If you're in the Seminole Heights, Florida area, check them out. They're amazing. The petticoat and the belt and pouch kit, those are from Amazon. Don't come at me, I know. I don't currently have any skirt hikes, so these clothespins are serving that purpose right now. I hope you can see these here. And I have this amazing crown. I'm going to hold this in front of my face so you can see it. That's going to be part of the outfit as well. The topper to this concept is going to be demon shoulder holders. I'm new to EVA foam, and I decided to use a pattern for this. The pattern is from Kamui Cosplay. I'll provide links in the description below if you want to check it out. I've watched quite a few of the videos on the Kamui Cosplay channel just to get a sense of recommendations and ideas from people who craft with EVA foam a lot. And one of the things she recommends on that channel is this. This is a condiment bottle with contact cement in it. I'm using what I had on hand. I did not purchase special bottles for this purpose. Because of that, my condiment bottles came from IKEA. They don't have lids. So I'm using plastic wrap. I don't recommend this. It's just what I'm doing for now to get through this project. I also embarked on this project using the box cutters that I had on hand. I don't recommend that either. I would suggest at least trying the box cutters and the whetstone that she recommends. That's actually the next step for me in this project, is to make that switch, because I had to order those items from Amazon. They just arrived today. We're going to do a little time traveling here, and I'm going to show you the process that I've gone through with this up to this point, and then I'll show you kind of the pieces that I have assembled up to now, and we'll talk about next steps. Let's get to it. The first step in this process, once I got the pattern printed out, was to grade it up a little bit. And that means making the pattern bigger so that it fits my dimensions better. The pattern was initially made for someone who's a size 10. I am obviously not that. And so I increased the size of the pattern in total by about 1/2 inch. I added 1/4 inch on each side of each pattern piece. I did not alter the height of any of the pieces. Now it was time to cut out the graded pattern. And I like to use a rotary cutter for this. I feel like it's quicker and not quite as hard on my hands. I have this specific rotary cutter that I use for paper only. I don't use this on fabric. The one piece you'll notice was already cut out, and I used that to help me a bit with grading before I graded the rest of the pieces. So that's why that chunk is missing. I'm including this a little more footage here than I normally would, just so you can watch me battle it out with this EVA foam as it tries to roll up on itself. The pattern calls for 10mm thickness foam, and I had this on hand. A friend was cleaning out their supplies and gifted this to me, so I'm just trying to use up what we already had in our stash. The pattern pieces are set up in a way that they're mirroring each other. So you print out your one set of pattern pieces, and then in a minute you're going to see me flip these over. That's the mirrored side, and then I'll trace those in my black Sharpie, and then I'll flip them over to the original side, right side up, and trace those out as well. And then you end up gluing those together. So this column that you see that I have laid out in front of me, this is just half of one shoulder. And here we go with our flipperoos here. With all my pieces traced out, and I did label them, I labeled lines for gluing, and also there are arrows that indicate the direction of the angle in which you want to cut. I did a terrible job at that on this project. If it turns out crappy, that will probably be the root cause. It was really challenging. I had struggled with my hands and my grip strength anyway, but using these box cutters, despite this being a fresh blade, this seemed extremely challenging. I'm hopeful that upgrading to the box cutter that she recommends will make this a lot smoother and more accurate. I did get an angle on some of them, but I was also having a lot of trouble just getting all the way down through the foam at the angle I needed, and ended up having to make multiple cuts. And you don't want to do that when you're working with EVA foam. It just makes it choppy. Boy, did I have fun with this. In all honesty, this method is great, and this is so much better than what I was doing before, trying to use toothpicks in conjunction with the brush that comes with the contact cement. This is not the right type of bottle, admittedly, but again, it's what I had on hand, so I was just trying to use what I had without buying a bunch of additional supplies. Regardless, it was still so much better than what I'd been doing before. Something to note is that the contact cement is so sticky, even to itself, that when you squeeze some out of the top of the bottle, even after you turn the bottle right side up again, it will continue to come out the top of the bottle. This stuff reeks. I hate the smell of it. There were a couple times
when I blasted myself in the face with air out of the bottle, and it is very strong. You definitely want to be well ventilated when you're using this stuff. It's hard to be patient enough to wait for it to dry as much as it should. There was one that I actually made a mistake on. I tried to put it together too soon and it was not sticking, so I just pulled it apart and redid it. The goal on this project is completion, not perfection. This is for me. It's for an event. It's a learning experience. It's fun. It's just for kicks. If I was trying to sell this or something for a commission, it'd be a totally different story. That's not what's going on here. So, again, don't come at me. I'm just adventuring into making armor for myself and just trying to have fun while I'm at it. This is my first few pieces that were ready to be stuck together. And the pattern comes with these notches. You may have noticed before with the pattern pieces, I was cutting on them a little bit with a pair of scissors before I traced them out on the foam. They have notches baked in so you can outline your notches, and then that helps you line your pieces up when you go to stick them together. This is me kind of playing with it to see maybe what the shape should look like if my angles had been as ideal as I would have liked them to be.
Now that you're up to speed, this is the biggest piece that I have so far. And this will fit, I'm assuming, on the shoulder right about here. And then the rest of the pieces come down from this. I still need to determine exactly how I'm going to attach this to my body or my outfit, because I'm not necessarily doing a neck piece. I don't want to have to do a neck piece, but if I do, I'll conquer that when I come to it. But I'll keep you guys posted, and definitely keep an eye out for part 2 next Friday. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more content about DIY projects, self-awareness, or just some fantasy geek millennial lady and her cat, go ahead and subscribe. I upload videos most Fridays, and I'll see all of you ethereal little dumplings again real soon. Bye! If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and, if you're